We'll call the meeting to order. Tiffany, please take the roll.
Councilman Harjo,
Present.
Councilwoman Workala, Councilman McCarthy,
Present.
Councilman Sanders,
Present.
Mayor Sykes.
Present, let the record reflect we do have a quorum for Thursday, June 25th, special city council budget meeting. We're going to run down. I'm going to suspend Robert's Rules of Order so we can have you guys fire your questions off as you see fit. With that, we're, let's see here. Not even at the presentation. So we're still at the number 4, right? But
Yeah, we're
okay.
still finalizing goal.
Okay, so with that, council, you guys are up. And I've been waiting. Both bathrooms been.
Council, I dropped off just before the beginning of the meeting, that data from 2022 that I mentioned. Under section 51, accessory sales, that does highlight the club rental numbers for 18 holes and 9 holes, the quantity that year and the revenue generated. And it's also of note that I have 21's numbers. I didn't copy these because I ran out of time. 21's numbers are 75 units for 18 holes and 76 units for 9 holes. $55 and $59 respectively for 2022.
Our current rental fees are 20 and 10, right?
Yes.
That's what's proposed, yes.
So the ball markers, the gloves, Optiflex gloves, club rentals, the ball markers. Those look like the high quantity ones underneath accessory sales. Oh, there's
Like
more.
Blistex lip balm is under there, ball
Yeah.
markers.
What's a fly tee? Are those the tees?
Some of those are listed by their trade or brand name as
Oh,
well.
okay. They're 98 quantity.
Like those Callaway Desert Canyon Optiflex gloves at 21 units.
Yeah, those gloves are a hot commodity here.
Ball markers.
Well, in our part of the world, as hot as we are, I will tell you that I pulled out my poor golf bag right now. You'd probably find 3 or 4 gloves, usable gloves in them, because perspiration when you're out on the course, once the gloves get soaked, they're not as usable.
Gotcha.
So folks will carry 2 or 3 to change them out during a round.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see a lot of guys going to Costco and buying 3-packs and not thinking about it because they know they're going to use them.
The interesting thing that I'm finding as scrolling through here, looking at it under this lens, is the FootJoy and HJ gloves at 112 units, FootJoy Weathersoft 2-pack of gloves, 71 units, Mizuno gloves, 129 units.
Mm-hmm. It's gloves and tees is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, quite a bit of tees. Repair tools. Hat clip.
And what was that? Oops, I forgot to.
So for the most part, what I'm seeing on here, when we get to double-digit units, and this is out of a system that can be somewhat suspect, I see coming up here in double and sometimes triple units, pretty much mirrors what we've had put in front of us for a starting point.
Agreed. Like looking at the Callaway golf balls Chrome Soft under section 9, The Chrome Soft and the Callaway Super Soft. We're looking at 170 and 133 units of balls there. Tailor-mades under 2 different categories, Titleists, and then Titleist NXT Tours at 653 units.
Yeah.
And that's moving a lot of.
Well,
a
when
lot
you
of
get into
product in that
tournaments, a lot of times, when you get to those payouts,
Right.
we'll buy stuff by the dozen, and this represents what that operation shows as its main lines.
Sure.
You won't see anything on there by Wilson, despite how many times I asked the pro about bringing some of their stuff in, because I prefer to play was manufactured by that company, but that was his choice. The other thing I would like members to note in this information that Scott gave us, I'm sorry, Councilman Harjo, the gross margin report shows a great deal of variability based upon the type of material that's there. So, bags were 27, but balls were 46, almost 47% on the margin. And I think this speaks to the need for the expertise for that Class A Pro to be managing and keeping an eye on this. It also speaks to the challenge we would have if we were to try to set a definite markup and say, this is what you're going to use. I think that's a bad business practice. I think that being able to state the goal of never breaking even on costs is the bottom line. But beyond that, it's a matter of skill, expertise, knowledge of your market, knowledge of your customers that drives the particular margins, in my opinion. So I would ask folks to be very, very careful about setting a prescribed margin when you're getting into a diversified product range.
I understand that. I guess pointing out, though, we don't want to have a margin that's, 10, 15, 20%. I mean, notice that everything's, for the most part, besides headwear, everything's above 30%.
Mhm.
And that comes back to that fringe and everything like that. So I understand your point. I want to make sure that we're also not setting something that's too low. So.
Well, my suggestion is you don't set it, but
Going through this report too, again, when we had this projected sales in the clubhouse before we broke for lunch, the balls, the gloves, and the tees, that's not anything to me too worrisome. I think that's when this was proposed, that's kind of what was going on there. So those miscellaneous stuff that I think is a little bit more.
Do you think if we cut the number down, like we don't need 100 hats? What if we 100 hats at 3,000? Yes, that's quite a bit. What if we did 50? You know what I mean? What if we just cut some of this miscellaneous units down to, let's say, 50 hats? I don't know about poker chips. 200 poker chips, is that something that would be used a lot?
I think you're getting into the operational weeds here a bit if you do that, because unless you're out there doing the research to make the buy, you might find you could buy 25 for what you would ordinarily have to deal with 10 if you cut it back, because the price in quantity can
Is
be
more.
a significant difference. So
That's true.
and again, this is the challenge for us, is to refrain from setting standards that we don't have the material to make a really good intent. Heck, we might have somebody go up and donate these to us, but that just make the water more muddy.
Proves government shouldn't be in the business of this because we don't know what we're doing.
Well, that's why we set the parameter and we tell the other guys to operate under it. If they can't, then they have to come to us and tell us why. But while y'all are previewing that, I'm going to go ahead and kick this out. Looking at the 2 years of data that Councilman Harjo brought in on golf club rentals, one year was 114, the other 151. For rental purposes, Tiffany, do you have that broken out by 18 and 9 holes?
For the club rental?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Then they seem to be consistent, fairly consistent to each other. The numbers each year are very, very close regardless of the year. We seem to have as many of one as the other. If I were being optimistic about the trend, then I would suggest to folks we plug in 100 of each type as a forecast at the current price structures. Keeps the math simple for us and sets the bar a little bit higher than what past performance has indicated.
Tiffany, remind me what we had on the rentals, like 4,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I did estimated 200 rentals was at the $20 is what I did it as, is the 4,000.
Okay, so if we go off of Council Sanders' suggestion of 100 down to 2.
In that line.
Yeah, in the revenue line,
Well,
club rental revenue line.
if we go down to 120, that's 2,000 and 100 and the 9-hole rent, 1,000 in that line.
Yeah.
Councilman Harjo, did he do 384 lessons for 180 grand?
That's kind of what the numbers look like.
That's a lot of
It's
lessons.
not within my knowledge base if that's accurate or not. I was kind of focusing on the hard parts of like balls and tees and that kind of stuff.
Knowing that this is where we got into when they did the trend analysis, and that's why the guy had to contact TJ and spend about an hour and a half on the phone with him. The bookkeeping of the vendor had a very unique blending in some areas, like travel. So as the travel line, it was 6 digits. And how did you do that much travel? Well, he fed in the off-site trips that he did, and he also charged part of that off in instruction because he did do lessons while he was out there. So this is where Zen doesn't always give us the clearest picture. It is possible, but it's not likely. I'll put it that way.
Sure.
It's not impossible, but it doesn't have to be supported by data.
I forgot about the trips. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yep.
Regarding on the projected sales in the clubhouse, excuse me, the total in just like what offering is here, we're looking at purchasing, like under this, we would be purchasing 525 units to meet this kind of offering of potential like golf ball products, right? That total cost to acquire, if we were to acquire those 525 units, is $3,968 according to the sheet. The thing I'd like to note is going back here in, oh gosh, what section was I just in? I think it was 9. Under balls. In 2022, that shop moved 2,525 units. Packs of golf balls. You could probably deduct out that 329 of $1 balls because those were like the grab bag, dollar each balls. But under the packages of balls, to look at the quantity of units sold, it's pretty significant. I mean, you could consider that, 2,200 units for that year. Do we think that is a realistic outlook based on tournaments, leagues, and regular play? Like, are we kind of undershooting our projected sales in the clubhouse side?
think we have to keep in mind, as Councilman Sanders pointed out, some of these numbers might be skewed, or it could be.
In the retail part, I don't necessarily believe that.
Well, but Scott and, I'm sorry, Councilman Hart, Councilman McCarthy. Do I think that number is possible? Absolutely. Does it match what we're discussing? I'm not so sure, because we're talking about initial startup and then what's the cushion to keep it rolling. If you're bringing this up with the notion that are we going to look to move that many units and therefore we need to look at increasing our initial investment and ongoing, I would say that that is one way of looking at it. Having a rolling block to go back into where you can do your own replenishment.
So that's what I'm getting at, though, is that we do the initial investment, but the capital to set aside to replenish throughout the year, because if we move 500 units and the shelves are bare and we didn't set any money aside for that, and it doesn't run like a private brick and mortar where you're just immediately able to recycle that revenue back into the stream to purchase the wholesale to replenish the shelves, because we're kind of stuck to this, not because, kind of, we're stuck to this this fiscal budget. I do believe that we need to set aside enough capital, not necessarily to invest on day one so we've got piles and piles of merchandise, but there should be some capital somewhere in order to replenish those shelves if we're going to run it like a retail unit.
And we're not able to do it based off of our revenue.
No, so if we generate revenue in house, that's going back to a line, and we don't get to just unlock that this year.
So you're talking about doing an allocation, but not necessarily
not committing it to the full purchase up front, but allocating the startup cost for the pro shop to acquire the items, and then a separate capital reserve to replenish those items for the rest of that year. Mm-hmm. In the instances that we break that.
Exceed expectations.
Mm-hmm. Because I look at especially the balls side of thing as a pretty realistic. Now, granted, like maybe we're not going to have everything from Bridgestone, Callaway, Mizuno, Taylor, Titleist, and all the little ones. But if we had a decent spectrum that served the golfer's needs under that sense, that we could call up from a distributor and go, okay, send us, your case sale of TaylorMades or whatever that's going to be, because that's what's moving units. We need that capital reserve to be able to make that call and restock the shelves.
Tiffany, who made this list?
It was collaborative. Jeff had put a list together, and then Chris kind of worked off of it a little bit. So, but Chris is the one who supplied it to me via email. But I think Jeff did a lot of that's a lot into it first. So.
Jake, did you see the list?
I have seen it. I think I have it here.
What's your opinion?
I mean, what list are we talking about?
I think that's one in your left hand right there.
Projected sales?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know, because I really don't run that side of the thing,
I saw Jeff come in, but he left. Is he going to be back? Or?
Was that Jeff or was that Dave?
It was Dave.
That was
Dave.
Dave.
Sorry,
Oh,
Dave.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I know Jeff hasn't came in. I think, to be honest, I feel like even I think Decker kind of has more knowledge in that side of it than I do, because he's really talked to TJ a lot about it. I haven't, I mean, they just sell the stuff in the pro shop. You know, I don't like go in there and be like, hey, this is what we need. I let them run their.
Oh, but this is the unfortunate part of the schema that we've agreed to is you the boss man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Like-
I would rely on the pro that we hire at being a Class A pro. I would rely on him
He
because
was
he
here
would have
yesterday.
that
Is he not
knowledge,
able to be here today?
Who was here yesterday?
Chris Eastman, he was here for part of the day.
I don't recall seeing Chris here.
He wasn't here yesterday.
He was.
Yeah, first thing.
very long, but he
Yeah.
was here. Oh.
Ducked in.
And I'll just in a quick observation on this data, again, the Zen effect. But if you actually go in, I was trying to think to myself, when they show quantity or units, what are we looking at?
Are they
Because,
3-packs? Are they 12-packs?
well,
probably 3-pack.
it may come closer to being 3-packs that we're looking at, because when I divide straight quantity into the amount sold, it is on average between $11 and $14. So if that were individual balls, no ball is that expensive. No dozen is that cheap. So what's the quantity there? And if we're looking at 3-ball packs, which you'd have 4 of them in a dozen. If you look at it as a 3-ball pack, then it starts to make sense. About $15 for a 3-ball pack pretty much runs around the average for the average cost of a golf ball now by unit, by single ball. It runs between about $375 and $525, $550. That would make sense to me, but then it means your total units down below turns into 800 and some, as opposed to 2,525.
Agreed.
So,
And that's the importance of the configuration, right? Like
yeah, it's like,
any point of sale, the configuration is going to matter when it comes to like the real metrics on numbers. So I totally agree with you there.
then it makes some sense in the quantities when I see odd numbers, like 7.
Yeah.
7 3-packs at that price makes sense to me now that I see it there, but the quantity is not necessarily, if you don't know what the unit of measure is, unit of measure on this for quantity appears to be 3 golf balls in each one.
Potential, yeah.
So what's the difference of putting money in this GL line and the difference of putting money, having this GL line and then creating another GL line and putting it in another GL line? Like the department can use it out of either one whenever they need to. I guess clarify that for me.
Not Councilwoman Workload, not necessarily. Like if you're gonna put say 50,000 a pro shop in the admin budget, I'm gonna red flag that. I'm be like, no, you're not gonna just spend that, Jake.
Okay.
He's
so you're
got to
talking
now
about-
come back through me
So when it
because
go
you're gonna come to me and question that. If that makes sense.
So
Do you know
it
what I mean?
wouldn't go 2 separate lines in the golf budget. It would be
I'm just giving the scenario of like if you want to put it like I mentioned to Councilman McCarthy earlier, like air market and admin.
okay.
That kind of is more eyes are going to be on it. It's not just wrapped up in golf, right? And so to get it out of admin is going to take a little bit more,
Coordination.
yeah, than in the line of just golf, if that makes sense, right?
Jenny will pull it off the bill runner and create a headache for everybody.
No. And
For
by all
real.
means, it's not a headache, right? Like, yeah,
No.
that's your-
I'm just poking holes and I'm being silly.
yeah. So
But
I guess to answer the question, it can be done. It's just not going to be as necessarily as convenient to Jake to do it. It's going to be questioned before it gets to you.
what do you think of that, about that,
And-
Councilman?
And
McCarthy?
maybe that is the gate, right? That the initial investment is set at figure X, but that capital reserve sits behind a wall of approval in that sense that administration or council can unlock at the time that it shows that the performance of sales has exceeded our expectations, and you do need to dip into the capital reserve to replenish.
What do you think about that, Councilman
I was
McCarthy?
waiting. I didn't know if Councilman Harjo was done. I think that's kind of like what Tiffany had suggested, and I think that's kind of that gate, so to speak. It's just the question of what is X and what is Y. So, I also, Paula, help me on this. With, say we put X away into the golf course, purchase everything with said X for, that expenditure. And in 3 months, Golf Pro sells out everything. The situation they have, the capital. We sold everything out of that initial amount. The revenue we get on that, how does that go back about coming back into almost as like a revolving kind of fund?
Back into the general fund?
No, back into the,
I'm just waiting for you guys to say you're gonna put this much expenditure in the pro shop, and then we're gonna up it by 30% to put it on the revenue side.
right, but I'm
So
saying,
it'll be tracked that way, through its own GL.
But that revenue is accessible next budget cycle.
Next budget, it won't be accessible.
fiscal 28th.
Correct.
I didn't get it. Still confused on the club rental. Did you settle on 3,000? Or anything down? Third one, no, we're good. with that.
What do you think, Dicker?
I'm thinking if we, I think we're being cautiously optimistic based on the data we have. Say 100 in each one. Data, there's comparability between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay saying for a baseline set, 100 rentals each at the current published rate. They give you $3,000, 2,000 in one line, 3,000 in the other, or you combine them all in one under club rentals, call it 3,000 revenue. If my coworkers will be amenable to that.
I think that's a reasonable expectation of the rental clubs.
Back to Councilman
Pro shop
Workell, I knew you
sales.
asked about. The scenario I guess I can see with it, again, the gate being great, but say we spend $20,000 right then and there in October or November to stock the pro shop. We haven't really seen any revenue data. What's to stop from them coming back and saying, okay, we've spent all this money, now we want to dip into the reserve and admin.
The supply, they go through the supply. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to recall your scenario.
So we have a set in the golf budget, say 20,000,
Mhm.
just throwing it there. In October, November, everything up, that you can get for 20,000. December and saying, yep, now we need to dip into the,
So I think that's where the checks and balances come in, where you're like, wait a minute, your shelves are still stocked full, right? Why do you need to order more? I mean, having that, putting it in the admin budget, is that what you guys are saying? Kind of be that checks and balance to his scenario? I don't know.
Yeah, to be honest, if you tasked me and the objective was I had to go out and inventory it before I allowed it, that's another, like, that wasn't my impression on it. My impression would be I would rely on Jake to come in and say, hey, they're out of Wilson balls. This is hypothetical. They're out of the Wilson ball bin and we're going to need to order more. But I don't have funds in my line, so now we've got to go to the reserve line, so to speak. So then I'd be like, okay, Jake, let's code it. You're going to notice it, and then you're going to say, hey, what's the inventory status?
Right, then, yes, Councilman McCarthy and I will walk inside the pro shop, We'll look at the shelves and
But there also might be one product
You're only
that
moving Wilson balls, but these ones have been sitting here for
Well,
6 months.
that's the reality of retail, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that very well can be the case, that you're going to find one sweet spot of a retail offering that outperforms the rest, right? And so you have your retail leader in that sense. That's very much the possibility, but that's why that capital reserve has to be there. And it's not that, you know, an immediate trigger of that one product being out triggers another $20,000 worth of expenditure. It's, hey, we need to replenish the thing that's leading performance. That's pretty
And in the
straightforward
scenario you
retail.
described, just for the absurdity of it all, that's when you expect your Class A pro who is in that world to go up to his next tournament group and go, you know, you guys are giving away prizes for closest to the pin. I got these golf balls that haven't, I'm not gonna tell them they haven't moved lately, but purchase those for your closest to the pin prizes, and then you give them out as prizes to your participants. And then we move the stuff that's not moving. But that's the merchandising side that of Class A pro brings that
Well, I
we'd have
wouldn't,
to think of it on our own in group sessions.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily absurdity. I mean, it's something you have to think about because it's, again, you know, the counter argument could be, well, the absurdity is to think that we're going to do $200,000 and, you know, just don't know. So I think having the conversation of what can happen is open and warranted. So,
Mhm.
but I do think the idea of the set amount in the golf and then having a reserve admin for that checks and balance, I think it's definitely a positive.
so now we just need to come up with numbers, right? If that's the route we're going. Okay.
Ladies first.
So Chris, hi, can you come up here? Thanks.
That Zoom call with 4 up, we're ready to go. Early this morning. Just got off a Zoom call with Blue Up Golf, so we have live scoring. We got a lot of things going on.
So we were told, council was told that you and Jeff collaborated and put this together. This is the projected sales in the clubhouse.
Yeah, that's just an easy thing to do. What you're looking for is basically a buying plan. I think that's what I just walked into. Pro shop.
Yeah, we have solved everything but pro shop expenditure revenue at this point. And so, yeah, like we're not going back 4 hours. So bear with me
We'll
here,
stick to
Chris.
that topic.
Yes.
Specifically.
I just don't know where I'm at
So
here. What I'm walking into.
the question specifically early on before you got here was who generated that report that you emailed me
Yeah, it was
yesterday.
all three of us.
Yeah, and I
Ryan
said that
helped
you
out.
guys all work together
So
to
is
bring
this-
Those actual costs of goods are not accurate because I wasn't able to go to supplier titles and get my actual costs. So, you know, you're trying to operate at a 25% profit in golf balls. You know, other merchandise, you're looking at 50% profit. We're not stocking golf clubs.
So how far off? Because I was under the impression that we did get wholesale what our cost is on the
No,
merchandise.
because I wasn't able to get that.
So that's not what. So would our cost be less than that?
Yes. I wasn't able to get actual costs because I'd have to call each individual rep and, you know, stuff is price fixed. Okay. So at Golf Galaxy, you can buy a dozen titles at $55 a dozen. They're buying bulk. You're getting discounts when you purchase that product. So I'd have to go call each individual rep, find out what the actual costs are. And I wasn't able to do that. I didn't have enough time to do that.
Well, Jeff put together this for Councilman Harjo, which shows the quantity and the amount that was sold per
That was TJ's
Br-
stuff.
branded
Yeah,
item.
that's all of TJ's history that was able to get off of.
Yeah, inflation,
Those-
freight, things
Yeah,
like
those
that.
costs have changed.
Yeah. So what are you? So we have to come up with a number.
Yeah.
So to get us going to stock the pro shop, what number are we needing to look at? Because we're basing it off this, but you're saying it's not.
Are you looking at stocking in October? Because I wouldn't purchase anything in October. I purchased it in the spring, the start of your systems. when the golf season starts. So if you're gonna stock it now, there's things we can buy that we can sell, but then we restock in the spring when your season kicks off. So that's my question to you guys. Does that make,
Chris, that was what I was going to ask the council. Are we foregoing all the tournament revenue for the remaining of the year till October?
or, yeah, upcoming tournaments and events?
I mean, I think that's
That's my question.
taking a bigger look at what budget we're currently bound to versus what we're projecting for next year. I'd kind of like that to be a separate discussion.
Because you're trying to flip that inventory 3 times.
So, Chris, let's just play it as we're starting in October
That's what we'd have to decide,
Okay.
today, right now.
close out, yeah. Just-
Chris, if I understand you right, you're saying that you wouldn't purchase anything to stock up the pro shop until spring.
Probably 25 to 30,000 to get you started. And I'm looking to flip that 3 times and produce 100,000 in sales. That's the objective. We have 2 million in inventory Golf Galaxy, we sell 6 million. Sorry. We have 2 million in inventory Golf Galaxy and we sell 6 million. Bigger numbers, but this is a small game.
So right now, they're toying around with doing a set amount of money right now, and then once you get close to, and then leaving a set amount in the admin budget to restock, just so you're not in a shortfall. That's the discussion they're currently having.
If you want to get something started, you're looking at trying to sell stuff for Christmas sales, but basically everything's discounted that time.
So Chris, I don't care if you buy October 1st or if you buy it April 1st, right?
Okay.
Because we have to, that's what our budget is, right? And so we just have to get some numbers down in the books for her to close it out in a couple weeks, right? For the public to know what our budget is for the city. So, so on here it says cost 14,336. Would that be at cost, the city cost? So you're saying it's gonna be more than this? More than this? Because you said 20.
Well, that was just a basic.
Yeah, that's not wholesale.
Right. Right. Okay. So you said it might be less, but then now he's throwing out 25, 30,000. So I don't. How about we come back to this on Monday? So this will give you tomorrow time to do a little bit more research on this.
No way I can get a hold of all those to get actual cost.
Council, I'm gonna go back to kind of Councilman Sanders' like, we're kind of stepping over pennies to get to nickels. I whatever the analogy is, but like
Stepping over
Think-
dollars to get to pennies
yeah, whatever.
Fair
Thank you.
risk.
Whatever. Thank you.
times.
Yeah. it does.
And I pick up pennies off the road. I'm that person.
That-
So
hey,
that's
no,
who you're
I-
dealing with.
You and me both.
Yeah, if it's heads down, like I'm not, that's bad luck. But anyways, like I think like we know that the estimates have been done, but they're not at what we could wholesale them for. So these numbers of what their costs to us that are projected are higher than what we would anticipate them to be. So
And again, these should not be, my view, I can't take these as gospel.
correct.
They're a guide.
Yes.
I'm not going to dictate, looking on any sheet that's handed to me around projections, what winds up actually winding up on the shelf and in what quantity. I'm not going to sit here and say the only balls you're going to stock are Taylor. Balls you're going to stock are Mizuno. Or any other brand that may or may not be appearing on this list of projected sales in the clubhouse. It was given to us as a way to help guide us toward what range of numbers we might need to look at, pick out. But if we're getting down to where we're going to start prescribing Bridgestone, let's leave a Bridgestone balls, then we're way too deep in the weeds.
No one's bringing that up.
I would agree. I think the real unit of measure here is to back into the number is how many units we think the value per the average unit, how many units we anticipate that we're going to need to get through season 1, and then put some capital reserve aside in case we outperform that.
Mhm.
So using the logic from earlier, if it was 2,525 units sold in 2022, and we want to back that into divide by 3 and you get 841, now we're at okay, well, here's kind of a swag at what it would cost us to stock 841 units of balls.
Yeah.
Regardless of
Again,
the branding.
for the year. And you're talking about, again, a yearly number.
Agree, and you can break the year down into any subunit that you want. I'm just trying to back into a set of logical numbers.
And on average in Zen, the numbers came out to about $12.50
Hmm.
a sleeve. So if we were looking at it for a year for that 804, it's $10,512.50.
For balls only.
The 841 units at an average cost of
Right.
$12.50 a unit.
And then we go down the rest of the list of like tees,
Right.
all of that stuff. So
Do that, and then come up with a ballpark. This is where we are. Until we get a baseline established, we're ballparking it. We're trying to get our best guess.
agreed.
So what Chris has given and the guys have put together on this list is their best guess. And that is a minimal list. That's to have people be less grumpy about walking out empty-handed, having what they need in order to go out and play today. So we're not talking about doing it for today. We're talking about doing it for October 1st. It's a different discussion the mayor would like to have, and I think needs to be had by this group. But for our purposes today, I have no problem with building a cushion, a reserve, an extra firewall system. I got no problem with that at all. Implementation wise, if we're not going to provide the resource that our people are giving us based on a reasoned expectation, then we are essentially running the risk of causing this program to not have what it needs to be successful starting out. So if I did anything along this line, I would entertain being conservative on the initial outlay, but for every bit that we minimize the initial outlay, I'm going to be asking for greater reserve.
Becker, this is, sorry, Councilman Sanders. You are so good at thinking from all directions, but again, this isn't council's job is to figure out these numbers. It's their job to figure out these numbers and present them to us. So that's where I'm like, oh, Scott, you're
It's kind of our job too.
well, but it's our job to look at it and say yes or no, go back to the drawing board, right?
Councilwoman Workla, I will beg to differ a little bit when comments have been made that our projections in revenue are not what you believe are correct.
Right. So then we readdress it and bring it back to the drawing board.
And we're here because these are unknown anomalies on a very big topic. So we're asking you guys to help us do the work to put the number in that we all cognitively agree on.
That's why I said Monday, look at these numbers a little bit closer, because even the clerk thought these were set numbers, right? And they're not. So that's why I say on Monday, if you can maybe fine tune this a little bit more with the direction you're going, Councilman Sanders, because you're able to pull up and start spouting out numbers. It's Councilman Harjo here, right? How about you guys collectively? Because I won't say, yes, this is a good idea when there's just numbers being thrown all different directions. I don't know. I actually highly respect Councilman McCarthy's stance on most of this budget session because he is holding a tight purse string on most things. And even down to the pennies. I appreciate that. So.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Chris, are you stating you need 25,000 just to stock the pro shop? To get it at least where we can, let's say we're in the next spring session and we had all those tournaments, then would you need another 20,000 to refill it for the remaining of the season?
So with your 4-up system, inventory's in there, you have the cost of the goods sold, and once you deplenish to a certain amount, it automatically will be ordered for stock. So do you want your baseline of your shop to start with, is what I'm getting at. Start with 40,000. And it's sold, then $10,000 with profit. That goes back at that. We maintain a certain inventory that over a short period of time.
Right, but the problem right now is, once you make that sale and that profit, it just goes into the account where we can't tap into it.
You
So
can't tap into.
this is the
No.
part of like
That's
the
why it's
the
municipal.
municipal aspect that we've got some learning to do, because that revenue, you cannot access that until the following fiscal year. This isn't like private commerce where it goes back into your till and then goes back into wholesale purchase. It does not work that way with
Which
us.
means you would need to disable that function in 4UP.
Yeah, I haven't put that function in because I have no inventory.
Okay.
And so what they're trying, like right now, to decide whether they give you the initial startup cost and then put in the initial capital for not the initial, sorry, the reserve capital for when you do need to, that would go into admin budget. So you got to come say, hey, I'm out of, not Wilson, the Titleist or Bridgestone or Pro V1s or all that.
Okay, so you start with 40,000, you have 20,000
Yeah.
in reserve.
What's that?
Put 40,000 in and you have 20,000 in reserve.
Is that your professional opinion?
We got to start somewhere.
Okay.
That 5,000 would have been paid for already, just in the rental club aspect, and you're losing green fee revenue. So Foursome wants to come in play. They're paying $60 for round to go, paying 4 rentals at $20, and they're spending $20.
Chris, I will tell you, and you'll find me interrupting you quite often today, probably because the data we have doesn't support that yet.
Right.
The
and that's
data
where
we
we're
have
at.
for club rentals for the last 2 years show we never had more than 76 units in 18 holes and never more than 75 units for 9 holes. So I don't know. And that only comes up to about $3,000 worth of revenue. So I don't know how you're going to pay off $5,000 worth of stuff in that. You haven't seen it. So
Understand what
I'd like to see it. Believe me, I'd like to see it. But I'm not going to recommend to my colleagues a level of support that doesn't have some basis in what we know we've experienced.
Yeah, we need to start somewhere, and then we'll have a history to learn from for next year.
My concern is that we provide enough support, council, so that this situation we're stuck with finance, we give them X number of dollars. Next fiscal year, when we expect this thing to really blossom, that's our expectation. We don't expect it to fail. And we aren't able to have a method for continuing when they do turn over X. They can't touch any of the monies generated by that. What's our reserve so they can continue to operate till we get into that second year when we can recoup that money back into the budgeting process? So this is the startup costs of business. And yeah, I have to call it what it is. Doing operations, that's like a business. This is the startup cost, and it's a matter of tolerance. You have to figure out what you're willing to tolerate. But my hope is that you'll be wise enough to, after full consideration, be able to say that if this doesn't work this time next year, if this hasn't worked, it wasn't because we didn't get it in a position where it could. That's my biggest fear behind the switchover.
I understand that. Chris, I'm going to be honest. You had said the 40,000 for startup and then 20,000 reserve. In my mind, kind of like, because again, as Councilman Sanders, this is a business startup. So to me, it's one of those of, I'd like it to slowly prove itself. I hope this works. I really do. We're moving down this path, but it's one of those of keep coming back and showing us this is going to do instead of just.
Both of you have excellent points. Good thing about that, we sell that 20,000. Both of you have excellent points.
So
I'm going to seize this opportunity. E40.
About 2020.
30-30.
2020. Wait, I guess I don't know how to bargain now.
1535?
If it's gonna go into the reserve, yes.
35 in the reserve?
I don't think 15 is gonna be barely, 15 will get them somewhere close to what's on the list they handed, maybe. And if that's what you guys are comfortable with, and we can put 35 in the reserve so they can come back to it in that year and replenish it, great.
I say 2030 then, if that's what we're gonna do. Like, we have some unknown ahead of us with the startup cost. 15 is tight, 20 provides some wiggle room. I would like to see the capital reserve closer to 20, but if we're gonna take the same approach with this that we've taken with others, like we can't shortcut ourselves either. There's a reality that you may have, 3 or 4x turnover on certain lines of things. It's not going to be a full turnover of every item in the shop. That's a reality of retail. So I'm comfortable with 20 start. Open to hearing thoughts on capital reserve. I'm as low as 20 in part of my mind, and I can see how you could get up in the 30s otherwise.
I can tell you in capital reserve because it is reserve. And we, as I understand it right now, we'd be putting that behind an administrative firewall. Where if nothing else happens, it would sit. It may never be touched if this thing turns south.
And turn into cash carryover in 28.
Correct. So I would recommend that if you're, the closer you get to 15, the bigger make the reserve. The closer you get to 25 or 30, smaller the reserve. But overall, whether how much of it you firewall off, you're still looking at what we talked about almost 3 weeks ago, which is 30 to 60,000. So overall, pick a number, let's say 50. Divide it wherever you like. Put your firewall in where you want it. Just plug it in. Run it up the flagpole and see who salutes.
Okay, starting 20, reserve 25.
I'd agree.
Done.
I'm good with
So
that.
let it be written. So let it be done.
And the plan, if it goes over, is we learn in 28
Mhm.
and we readjust.
So,
And we may find with a complete turnover of both that we actually don't need the reserve anymore. We can actually let it function
I
on its
have
own.
to ask. I need the numbers.
20 and 25.
20 and
25 in the admin, 20 and
25
in the uh,
20 in pro shop merchandise that will sit
25.
in the golf course.
Mhm.
25?
In the-
20.
she said 25
And 25 for the capital
in
reserve.
the capital reserve in admin for golf course.
So 20 in the pro shop merchandise
Yep.
to be spent. 25 in admin designated as
Reserve.
reserve.
Yep.
All right, I have one more question. The golf course.
With the disable of the auto order.
Yeah. This needs
It's
to be
disabled because there's nothing to, I haven't started it yet because I have no
I know.
inventory.
I'm just
I
throwing
was
that
gonna
out
throw
there.
what if, but I'm zipping my lip.
I've one more question
Yes, ma'am.
that is just finance. It's not a golf course question, really. It's a council. So currently, we're saying we do a transfer from general fund. Do you want that now to change to say revenue sharing instead of the transfer? You'll still see it. It'll just be like recreation where they get a portion of revenue sharing. Kind of went over that yesterday, the options.
So instead of it being property tax
Mhm.
as a transfer, it will be a sales revenue tax. So the great state of Idaho will be offsetting the, not said transfer, but transfer.
It can still come from general fund as routinely it has. That's how you guys want to see it, or it can be designated in golf with its own revenue line, and then those semantics are taken out. You still see it. It can't be more.
Mhm.
It's not going to change if you say we only want 200,000 revenue sharing to go in there. That is all that would go. It's not like it's going to go, oh, and interest. No.
So I guess it leads the question of like if you use the revenue sharing, which everybody in the great state that spent $1 in here is sales tax, right? Means that you can quintessentially, and this is just the way my mind works, is that if we're looking at county residents paying more than city residents, well, county residents probably have paid something in sales tax, whether it's your Amazon package or whatnot. So then there you can justify the not raising rates for golf course. You're gonna raise rounds of play.
That's with the few changes you guys have made today, and it's only been minimal. We were at 193 of a transfer, so I'm sure that has gone up. You do have some revenue that will kind of offset that.
Say what were we currently at before
It's
today?
on your worksheet.
On that, the one you from this one? Or no.
Yes, it's on this worksheet.
Paula,
It was-
if this money coming in from the state, a portion of it's going towards the golf course. If we didn't go towards the golf course, where would it have gone towards?
it's on your revenue sheet.
Yeah.
It's on the very front of it. So it says, the projection from the state is 1.9 million, 1.9, so almost $2 million. It's kind of that orange.
Mhm.
Yeah, that orange is like, this is what the state told us we were gonna get. Historically, we get a little more because, there's people at state level, and I don't change the numbers. I take them right out of the book.
Mhm.
Yeah, page 1.
So, and that's coming
So if
in
it-
from state liquor fund and from
No,
state
no.
revenue, or
It's
just state
just
revenue?
revenue sharing. The liquor fund apportionment is separate. We
Okay.
like to keep that in admin because we use that to offset the cost of policing. So
Okay.
we keep that in there.
So this would go, generally, this would go to admin
It
every
would
year.
sit in admin.
And then you guys took 450 and put it into rec,
Right.
and now you're asking to take the ones.
Whatever the difference is. So instead of transferring, we'll say right now it's 200,000. Instead of seeing the transfer, that will stay here and on this side as revenue, as your property tax revenue. And then the revenue sharing would go down to offset that. And that's the same thing when we're talking about, we want to catch the out of county people or out of city people at the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Well, you're catching them with that revenue sharing and you're catching them statewide.
Okay.
And
It's better. I don't like it, but it's better than just taking it from this pool, right?
Yeah,
These
it's
people, since
cleaner,
being
I
used
think.
from people from Boise and.
Yeah, it's being, I buy stuff off Amazon, my sales tax goes into years ago, we couldn't do it this way, because I know the mayor asked why we couldn't do it. We didn't, we were getting like 400,000 in revenue sharing, but as soon as, and I don't know if it changed at the state level, or if the vendors participated and said, hey, we're all gonna do it the right way and give the states their portion of the sales tax. I don't know that. I just know we went from 400,000 and we've gained and gained and gained. Yeah, and it will be more because the state of Idaho is very conservative with their projections. And we stick with those.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you're gonna get more than the 1.9 unless something weird happens.
I'm okay with that.
What's our figure for the janitorial line?
Generate a line.
75.
See it, it won't change.
that way, everyone, I like it better.
Oh, I do have one more question. So the pro shop got 20,000 in expenditures. What's the projected revenue of that? 30,000?
30.
Like,
You could add 30% to that because that'll be the minimum.
can you do that math for me?
1,000. So it was, so are you talking about the bull tranches?
If he sells $20,000 in merchandise at
5,000 profit.
5,000, so
That's a 25%. That's what that's the,
That's what you're hoping.
yeah, it could be greater than that. I
So
hope
it's a
to.
total of 45. So would you say 25% is the,
That's a number that everybody's trying to achieve.
okay.
so it'd be
Some merchandise you're
$11,250.
achieving
Add
higher.
We
onto
want more.
as our profit.
If we took the 45,000, you multiply that by the 25%.
He's only going to sell. Are you doing like if he comes back? I'm just doing the 20,000 out of the pro shop.
Just the 20,000 on the pro shop, you're looking at 26,000.
Okay, so that's what the revenue will be?
And that's 1 point, what I just, I took 30%.
If he,
Multiply the number by
if
1.3.
he, has to come back to the council and say, I wanna take off of that, reserve, that firewall,
Mhm.
that revenue will actually go into the golf course. So you'll see that increase there.
Yep.
Yes. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, but you should, I would, if, my suggestion is you guys kind of monitor that every month.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's my suggestion.
Watching this every month is not gonna be an issue.
Yeah, so I don't know where you guys are at. I mean, it's more work on your side, but, and then I know that Tiffany, myself, or Jake, if there was a red alert, we would, obviously, we'll group council together and then we're like, you guys, we gotta like memo that out.
Well, it's no different than his equipment that you all got noticed the first year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll,
And like any new program startup, Chris, you have a abject apology from me in advance. I've been in a situation I think pro coming in is going to be in. They're going to be probably always far more knowledgeable and experienced as their profession than the people that are supervising. And that means we're going to have this on a short lead early on. But I will tell you from my experience, as I get more used to the monitoring of this and as my experience grows, I tend to extend that lead. Demonstrated competence goes a long way with me.
Thank you. June 30th, we have my Zoom call down here live. Everything's been done, so it's open to any questions you have with 4UP. Be right here. That's, my chair's open. Or anybody can come in, ask any questions of 4UP. We're ready to go.
did you get the bank account set up?
You're talking about with
We're
Bethany?
gonna move on.
Oh, I had two questions.
She still needs something from you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, she's got 2 questions on revenue really
But
quick.
we'll answer your.
Okay, I'll be really quick. Sorry. I'm really off on my thing. Okay, so really quick on revenue on the golf course. So for the cart rental fees, it's
Oh,
a,
yes, let's do that real quick.
yay, okay. So for the cart rental fees, it's 140,000. I know that we're paying our lease of 48,988 per year until 2029. So is that to pay it off? Is that what it is? It's just to, no?
No, that's just the revenue that we're generating. Then the expense is on the other side. But could
But
we?
right.
You're on the revenue sheet. now.
Yeah, but is that,
We don't deduct the 48,000 off of the revenue. We expend it off the other side.
no, right, but hang on.
But can we go through all those lines? Because I know there's been comments made that they don't think these numbers are right. And then I'm like, whatever you guys want to put in there, I would gladly plug in.
Wait. Where's that?
Well, if anything, watching our counterparts at the state, when it comes to revenue projections, that's how you wind up at some part of the year looking at a $200 million deficit and winding up in the year with 74 million surplus. They're projections, they're guesstimates. You take the data and you get the best situation you can come up with, and then go, life brings on its own realities. So
So I guess what reflects is, if these projections were off and we thought we were gonna get 240,000 in golf cart rental, when we start looking at the cash carryover for the next year, that's when it's really gonna hit you. We didn't even get close.
Okay, so going back to my point that I'm very
Yeah.
poorly making.
That's okay.
So yes, so it says 146,964 to pay off. But if you see that you're gonna generate a revenue of 140,000, would it be wise to put more than just the 48,988 to try to pay it off quicker
Hold on.
to avoid? Because look how much.
But that makes less accessible revenue for next budget cycle. We're under a lease. It's not like we're purchasing these.
Is it a lease
Right.
purchase?
So,
No, it's just a lease.
so in
Oh,
this sense, like,
it's not
we're
a lease
not,
purchase?
So the only thing
It's
you'd
not a lease
save
purchase.
is about
Oh.
30,000 of interest. That was
but,
from the
and
radio.
you'll also not have the accessible revenue. involved.
Yeah.
It's like I think, I might be wrong, Mayor, I think it's like a rotating lease. Like,
Yes.
once, those carts would go back and we would get new ones.
And we'll,
Okay.
Yeah,
You get-
it's really nice.
Do a
setup.
3 or a 5 year?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, after 5 years, you get a brand new fleet.
Yeah, you get a brand new fleet.
Yeah.
You just start over.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
And then for the driving range, we still have 19,537 of unearned income for the driving range.
Yes,
Um,
but you don't have, June, we haven't got that number in there yet.
Mhm.
You don't have July, August. I don't think you'll gain much in September, but,
Oh, yeah.
You-
September's
you're
good.
Yeah, I think
so you don't have those numbers in there yet.
do you feel like this projection of 48,000 is pretty accurate?
We did 46,000 last year, if you look
Okay.
at the actual. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with that. Maybe the greens fees punch cards, like historically, you haven't got over 1,000, so you might shave 500 off of that one.
Okay.
The junior golf league was brand new last year. It did $1,080. I think you'll be fine with the 1,100 projection.
Okay.
I brought down the season passes. However, if we're growing the game of golf, I'm pretty good with that projection.
Okay.
The trophies are right on. I think the driving range is fine. The monthly passes was brought down $500. The cart rentals, I'm comfortable with.
Can I ask a question about that? So back in 22, 23, if TJ was, how did the cart rounds work? TJ got 80%, so you got 20%. So we got 144,000 off of 20%. I mean, that's 20%.
No, we got 144,000, and then we had to pay him out of that.
Okay. All right, because yeah, the next year reflects 16,000. I'm like, okay,
He
that
pulled
makes
his
sense. That would be like
carts.
20%.
No, he
but-
pulled his carts, and we didn't have any yet.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that was confusing.
It is.
All right,
Um,
thank you.
let's bounce back up to green fees right quick. What was did you go off the historical
Yes.
actuals?
Yes, which is 255. It grew a little in 24, 25 because you had more play. People weren't quite as, I have to say, angry. There was a lot going on out there. Now we're at projected to do 256 for next year.
Not sure how I feel about that number. Rounds played. We had a dip in the total rounds played. On average, if we averaged the number of rounds played over the last 3 years, we would need to hit that average, we would need to play just over 20,000 rounds this coming year. I think that's achievable. But it would be an increase of over 3,000 rounds from prior year. If we ran full 20,000 rounds, but our projected, it's going to be hard to figure out because you got to figure out how many rounds were played by each method of payment.
Right.
And we don't have that data. So again, we're back in that place where historical winds up being the best accurate look we have.
And those
You think-
are
you think-
actuals.
Yeah, off of the actuals. I really want to believe we're going to move the number of rounds up. I really do. I don't think it's going to be status quo this upcoming year and the next year. This is the year of the upset. Next year's the year of the closing the wounds and suturing the scars, as it were. I would not be surprised to see that number be higher in terms of revenue, just so guys are aware. I think it'll be more than the status quo. We
I mean-
budgeted 245, but in actual for 24-25, we were at 255, almost 256, which is what we're budgeting 26-27.
Despite being subject to a downturn in the number of rounds, our revenues stayed the same. So I do think
I think our revenues might be a little higher in the green fees.
in the actual, which if we're going to project 256, I mean, it's not necessarily harm in leaving it there and just being very pleasantly surprised.
Worst case scenario is you earn more and it goes into your cash carryover
Right,
into the next year.
right.
If you project it at 260, you have the ability to spend it this year.
And that's kind of the number I had in my head was 260. That would give us, we're only talking about a 4% increase there in terms of number of rounds played needed to get there based
That's
on the average of things. I think
That's less than 1%.
kind of doable.
I mean, increase it to 260.
If the committee agrees, we take that on.
You had 2 years at 255, and those were, like combative years. Those were not, like, people didn't want to go to the golf course. So now I think that's starting to turn around. I don't think 260 outside.
I actually
I
plan to
think
go
golf
back
carts.
out to the course next year if I don't get to it this year and start playing. So there'll be some extra revenue coming in.
Right.
Well, there's your $4,000 right there.
Yeah.
Afraid I play sometimes, yeah. But it'd be a pro shop sale, so it wouldn't matter.
I mean, I think 4,000's if it's kind of a trivial amount. Like I'm comfortable with it if you want to round that off to 260.
Okay. And I did, the punch cards I bumped down to 1,000. I think that was all my questions.
What are we gonna do about the shed?
Oh, yeah. Is that coming back on Monday? I don't know. Is it?
Let's do it now. We're already talking about golf. It's already been, well,
brought
we're
it
on the fifth hour. You guys want to do the shed or not?
No. But his request for shed in this upcoming year, or is that something they're gonna do
Right,
for
that-
next year?
90, well, it'll be the 9,900.
I was kind
Oh,
of.
that 9,900 line. Well, it could be Monday now, Mr. Mayor, for one more
I
thing.
think Councilman McCarthy wanted me to get a couple more, try to get a couple more estimates.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind.
Thanks, Jake.
Trying to get you all done, sealed, delivered, Jake.
Well, I just was saving the talk because I think that's where it's gonna go.
Then I have nothing further to go.
Okay.
I got one thing. Tiff and I had a brief sidebar here, real quick. Making sure that we're all clear on gross sales versus profit margin. Tiff, what are your thoughts on that?
I just want to make sure that we all clearly understand the difference of the markup and what the cost actual is and what we will. That's what Mr. Grubb whispered to me in the back of the room, as well as the possibility that not everyone understands the difference between what your gross profit is versus what your markup is. So do we all understand that?
I do.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure everyone got it before we move on, and then we're 6 months down the road and we don't get it. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Hey, Jake. Done.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for
Thanks,
all
Jay.
your patience. I know that was a.
Yeah, you guys were flying yesterday. I just figured I'd let you,
We're saving it up for you.
Back
Yep.
on schedule.
We got 17 kids in the Parks and Rec thing that's on Thursday nights from 6 to 8. 12 of them have never played golf. Want to have some fun? Come out there tonight.
Thanks.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Hey, you can't leave, Mark.
No. Don't get to pick and choose. You're in this now.
Yeah. Have a seat with his name on it like Rod does.
Okay. Next out the gate is all the public utilities. So I think we're gonna do airport first and then move down the line. So
Chris, how you doing?
I'm okay, sir. How are you?
I'm gonna grab my Red Bull out of the fridge real quick for you.
That's how he's doing. you mentioned something about turning the airport manager position. What did you say? City.
A city employee. Would like to take the current position that we have out there that is the airport manager contracted. I'd like to terminate that contract. I'm city employee. The reason I would like to do that is that currently, as anybody that is running that, their interests, their own businesses, I would like with the direction of transport that represents the city solely moving forward. We're talking about rail expansion, we're talking about expansion, we're talking about industrial growth. I believe we need somebody out there that will be 100% city Mountain Home.
Do you have what that would look like salary and?
I anticipate happening with Daniel. We have a job description written, and I believe it's been submitted for review. It would be a supervisor position, so along the same lines as the water superintendent, wastewater superintendent, it would be a level, still answering to me as the public works director. So it's swag 85 fringe would be salaries would be.
Is that we compared that with other
Busy makes a very large sum of money, but when you look at the city of McCall, their airport and our period, theirs is a little bigger, but they're similar. That position pays more than what?
What about Gooding?
Excuse me?
What about Gooding?
Gooding does not have a city employee.
They don't.
airport.
It's contracted out.
It is. It's just it's ran just like ours is.
Okay.
Twin Falls has one, and Twin Falls is more than one. All of the airports that are our size currently typically run contracted. I'm just trying to get ahead of the game, knowing that the train is coming, figuratively, with the growth of the airport.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Thanks.
As well, on the topic of creating that position, the base salary is 1-to-1 with what we currently have our contractor under, so we'd be picking up the fringe in doing that. But there's multiple revenue streams that offset that. The increase based on bringing that person in, the revenue from the fuel sales comes to the city under that schema, and as well the new airport hangar, all of that revenue is significant, and that will also help offset that cost and
Because right now,
exceed that cost, frankly.
right now it's not structured.
Correct.
Oh,
And it just
you have numbers, Chris? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You have numbers on the fuel revenue?
So the numbers that I put in our revenue under the fuel, I got these, the fuel sales, which is the line 50. Those numbers are based on what the current fixed base operator did in the year 2025 through current.
Sorry, Chris, 1 second. Which number are we?
On the revenue,
Oh, revenue.
revenue.
it's 07-340-50 fuel sales. Those numbers are based on what the current fixed base operator is seeing. So I was able to get with Mr. Hogue, and he was gracious enough to show me his records, and that's what that's based on. And to follow up, we haven't started taking income from the new hangar. We're waiting on one final piece before we do the full acceptance on it. But in cost comparison, that hangar will bring in about $4,800 a month in revenue from leases is what we anticipate. And that's something we've not seen before. We're also seeing requests on at least a monthly basis for new hangar construction. So we know the airport is ready to boom. The big thing that we're getting a lot of questions is the industrial and commercial growth. We don't have the airport length of the runway to do that yet, but we're working on those things right now. So I feel like it's the right time.
Agreed.
You're putting some pieces of the puzzle together because I have a note here explain why wasn't fuel sales revenue reported before this year, so we never got any of
Get the
not
fuel
even a
sales.
percentage of that.
We
Okay.
get,
We get
We get it.
we got the
get a fuel
flowage.
Get a
fee, correct.
flowage fee.
Yes,
Yeah.
we get a fuel flowage fee, which was $3,500.
Yes.
Oh, so it goes underneath.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
on the revenue.
So,
But- sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Two things hit me.
Okay.
Oh,
One
Yeah, we've never.
is,
No. That would be.
it's gonna sound bad no matter how I say it. Who in their right mind goes in the fuel business when fuel's at its highest cost in years?
The total gross income
Mm-hmm.
or the total.
Agreed.
So help me work through that, because it looks
Tom
like
would have had to
this
expend it out to buy
is
it.
gonna wind up being a must we have to do transition, because your current contractor
This
is the
only
one
what
selling
we got.
fuel. So we're gonna be forced into selling fuel if we wanna keep that available to the airport, and everybody's gonna want fuel for their planes at some point or another. But the simple conversion from a contract to a city employee is also gonna push us into the fuel selling business,
That's
correct?
the goal, yes. That is.
And I'm gonna reflect back from my fellow council members, the discussions we just had about merchandising and purchasing and margins and all those estimates and all those guesstimates and all that revenue. Now, instead of talking 30, 40, $50,000, we're talking anticipated revenues of 145,000. We won't be able to touch it till 28. What kind of reserve are you willing to put behind beyond the 60,000 initial startup to go with this? It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. We need to be talking about it.
Agreed, and I'm glad you brought that up. There is some data I think that we could probably extract from some of Tom's info about
If you'd be willing to share it, yeah.
if he's willing to share that about the turnover and gallonage annually. I don't know if he looks at it through tonnage or gallonage in
He
that
looks at
sense.
the gallonage.
Along with any required inspections or how long you can keep fuel in a tank before it becomes questionable, especially when we're talking about high octane gas or Jet A,
Both.
both.
And that's where the equivalent of a Class A PGA Pro. We have an excellent airport manager currently under contract who knows a massive amount about the aviation realm. I think it'd be wise to lean on him for that data.
And I would, if I can, I would submit that the businesses that operate at the airport, they're not slowing down. So they're not gonna stop flying based on the fuel costs. BLM is not gonna stop flying based on costs. Those are businesses that don't slow down based on fuel. They continue to function just like we see across the country.
And that creates a bit of a dichotomy for me. You expressed the potential for there to be a conflict of interest on the part of someone who was contracted to manage the airport. You wanted 100% commitment to city.
Yes.
Fuel sales under the current contractor vendor is seeing ups. And what you're telling us is the potential for business to grow at the airport is on the upswing. When does the current contract with the airport manager expire?
So do you have that number?
I'm sitting here wondering, if we,
I have it.
for
Sorry.
the 1st of October, if we're turning around and telling that person, we're gonna terminate your contract for convenience, and you're gonna lose that stream of revenue, and oh, by the way, we're gonna start doing it ourselves. And I don't know the people, and I don't know all the people out there in the places involved,
Mm-hmm.
but if I were the current vendor, because I think he operates more than just simply the fuel, he has his own aviation
Yes, absolutely.
rail out there. If you really wanted somebody that was going to be 100% city driven, wouldn't that almost automatically, categorically remove that person from consideration to become that employee?
No.
I don't,
If I'm sitting there flying helicopters out there, the operation is part of my side business, my side hustle. And now you want to make me a city employee because you want me totally dedicated to the city. I still have an interest what happens at that airport. I have an interest because my business is there.
contract, Tiffany, you're kind of looking that up. Wasn't it 28 or 20, something like that, Chris? I, Chris, so I think you brought in I think it's on let's see. The contract's currently 48, I think you had.
48, yes, sir.
And so with fringe and everything that you're proposing, it's 117. And so essentially, what you're saying with this proposal is that we're going to make $70,000 in revenue off of fuel cells just to pay for that.
Just to pay for the. That's exactly right. Again, this is just trying to look forward. If the decision is that we maintain the status quo, it's working well. Our airport manager is doing a fabulous job.
I'm not going to lie, because I know that I was one of the odd ones out for the library, and so the library had at least some numbers and everything, so I was able to go off of where this sounds like it's kind of the predicament, but I'm having a hard time wrapping my head with the revenue. So I think for me right now, I'm not in favor of this.
Wanted to throw it out there.
I appreciate that. So
No.
I'm sorry, it was all about me for like the past minute. What did you say? It's,
No.
you don't want to do what?
I'm just not in favor of this right now. Just trying to wrap my head around the fuel. We're
Oh.
gonna make $70,000 in revenue on fuel because we're going to replace the 48,000, basically carry that over into the cost of the employee, which is salary and fringe. The total of that whole thing is $117,000. But if we're replacing part of it with 48, still we're expecting that we're going to make $70,000 in revenue for fuel.
Not just fuel, airport hangar as well.
Airport hangar lease will regain the current hangar that's part of the lease agreement, so we'll have that much more storage. But I understand exactly what you're saying.
Well,
Just off of what you've given us, it says fuel here. So
Well,
when we see the hangar come on and that, I think maybe it's for me a different discussion. But
There's
So if you look
a
at,
$2,000 increase on the 349.10.00
thank
line.
you, that increase reflects the new hangar. The city-owned hangar back, which is part of the lease.
and that's,
So that'll open up the second hangar that will also be able to go out to lease. So the first hangar, the newest hangar, the 4,800 monthly revenue at 12 months is $57,600.
And then
That's one of the two hangars. The other one comes online and open for rental or lease. Do we have a swag on what we would generate off of that one? Similar numbers?
it will be similar, but it's based on square footage.
Smaller square footage.
It'll be somewhere around 3,000 to 3,200 is what I anticipate.
Mhm.
But again, I totally understand what you're saying. 100%.
it's just
I
don't
get
have
it.
anything to go off of. So
Just timing wise, remind me again when the current lease expires or current contract expires.
December 31st of 29.
29.
29.
And if we were to move ahead with this, going to authorize in next year's budget $60,000 for fuel. Sold, that revenue goes in and is handled exactly like revenue from the Golf Pro Shop. In other words, those funds would be available the following year. So we're actually being asked to pick up not only the 60,000 for the fuel, but the entire cost of that employee for that year in the hope of recouping in arrears the following year.
But if you generate the revenue, and we project for the revenue now, and we put that in the revenue line of both the 38,400 out of the hangar that the FBO operates out of now, that would go back up for rent, 57,600 from the new hangar, and then the fuel revenue, and we project for those in our revenues now, then those revenues then that value is accessible because we're generating that revenue in this year. Yes, there's startup cost, but the offset is we know that during this fiscal year, the 5,700 or the 57,000 starts not in whole, but we have what 5-6 months of this current budget cycle left, we'll be generating $4,800 a month now for months prior to October 1 start date. So again, the revenue streams outweigh what the expenditures are. But looking at it in the same token of you need a startup cost and you need a capital reserve to be able to replenish fuel to ensure that we have fuel for sales.
Can we come back to this on Monday?
Yeah, I think this is kind of a,
Yeah, I meant with something else. How is it, can you help me understand why in 24-25 our tie-down fees took a big hit?
24, 25.
Look at the
Seat
revenue
base.
sheet,
Oh,
the actuals.
oh, the seat base.
It's
yeah.
the seat
It's the
base.
seat base, yeah.
oh.
That took up some of the ramp.
They used to have to pay plane, but now they get tie downs in their land lease.
Mm.
But we're anticipating that to jump back up to 22-23 levels.
You've added more tie down spots in the new construction.
We just did that project.
Okay.
Yeah.
So under 50-0, the rent or lease land options, under the current budget cycle that we're in now,
Yep.
those were accounted for there.
Okay, thanks, that helps.
First for me, I would say, Chris, bring it back next year.
Happy to. Yeah.
Because I already struggled with the golf course, where I want to have the conversation with you of water, wastewater, and streets, which I know, our 16,000 residents are probably more interested in hearing about. So, I know Councilwoman Workley, you want to bring this back. I'm just going to say that I think for me this year, I'm not in favor of going that city employee, airport manager way.
I'd like to see it back Monday. So I don't think the topic's dead.
I can bring.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, all these numbers that are being thrown out. The comparables of like what the revenue will be, like what you mentioned, with the hangar and the fuel and everything. And then,
I would, if you can, I guess I wouldn't wait till Monday. If you have documents now, that shared folder that I shared with everybody, I would dump it in there and they can access it over the weekend to know the data.
And staff help me understand on the expenditures, the 3,500 line. We're substantially over on utilities and you're projecting what looks like almost double the current budget for next year. Let me understand where we're getting, how much,
so
are
Just-
we growing so fast? That's the size of the oil, gas, or the electric we're using out there now?
Actuals, it was 11,000 in 24-25, so we were short 4,600. We'll be short again this year with the 8,000 projection. So it was based on also increase of utility.
And you just constructed a brand new hangar that is aboard too.
That required a new transformer. And
There is a brand new transformer that required
Yeah.
that one.
So
So
when you talk about the new transformer, that's something we had to purchase? It wasn't supplied as part of the Idaho Power utility?
It was part of the FAA hangar project.
the transformer is not in that utility line. That's your monthly billing. So the allocated amounts in the years prior weren't accurate. We were negative at the conclusion of the budget years. So this gets you at least to where hopefully we're at a zero baseline at the 15,000.
And when I say new transformer, we had to bring in new service to supply
Correct.
the new facility. Thusly, on top of being behind in years past in our projections, now we have more energy consumption because of the new facilities. So catching up.
Kind of a marathon cheese scenario. We had to bring new service out.
Yes.
We additionally had to bring service because of the other hangars being constructed on our property.
Yeah.
People want garage doors. And there wasn't enough power supply heading in that direction, so we had to upsize our lines to get there.
Yeah.
And in that included a transformer, which was a good thing we caught it in our construction staff. Good job, Chris. If not, we wouldn't have had an upsized line.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be able to provide the utility to the new constructions being done. So
This is gonna be a horrible analogy, but we're paying our own impact fees. Because this time the city's growing, city's putting the hangars, city's putting the stuff in, and we got up the infrastructure to keep up with it.
But we're also generating considerably more revenue than we have in years past.
I just saw this guy's 42 insurance. We're at negative. He only went up $3.25.
Which line is it?
insurance line.
42.
Yeah, that's the number that we currently have for my crimp.
Okay.
That's their new estimate.
So on the revenue for the tie down fees, looks like we currently have only collected $275 year to date. Then we're gonna project for next year for 45. I know we talked about the BLM seat base having more tie downs than that, but just going off of that revenue, only actualized 6% of what we were projected this year.
Probably wasn't adjusted based off of the, like, the new tie downs you're gonna get them, like, again, it's kind of an anomaly if we have a fire year. Let's maybe hope we don't. You'll see more than just BLM's planes tie down to that. For a while, we were seeing a lot of people just tying down because we didn't have hangar availability or the availability to purchase hangar space. Now you have the ability to lease the land and build a hangar, and so we're starting to see that trend pick up more. But I would assume we didn't make adjustments due to BLM shifting off of paying tie downs. So
Ask a question to this body. We have airplane out there that doesn't pay any tie downs. We don't have a contract with them. We don't have anything, and it's one of those things that's it's always been done that way, and we have discussed this. So what's your thoughts on everyone paying their fair share for their tie down fees?
Are they supposed to pay for tie down fees? Or tie down? Is there a tie down fee schedule? There is?
yeah,
Well, yes, absolutely. Well, then yes, it has to be everyone treated the same across the board.
This is gonna sound like an
Why is it
asinine,
not being enforced if we have that?
well, this is gonna sound like an asinine question. Are they actually tying their plane down?
Yes.
Okay, then
The
in my
plane,
mind, my analogy is I park illegally, I get towed. If we're not collecting a fee that's published and made known, the individual gets noticed so that there's no doubt that they know, we know, and they still refuse, then I would imagine to be subject to being impounded, but that would be a question of
It's just like anything else you do with code enforcement, right? You'll go by, you'll give them that one warning, right? You'll go by, give maybe that second warning, but if they still say screw off, then yeah.
So, Chris, help me on definitionally. Tie down fee is assessed on what basis? In terms of time, temporally. Is a tie down fee by the day, by the hour, by the month, by the year, by the aircraft? And how long does it sit there once it,
not by
what's the fee?
not by the area.
It's daily or yearly,
So they either do
and it doesn't matter
a day.
if I land and I tied down for 5 minutes to go eat at
Yep.
McDonald's, I'm paying.
That's the day payment.
Yeah.
But if I do it for multiple days, when is it kicked to yearly? You just charge them a daily fee for 364 days if they're there that long?
Again, it goes to ethics,
Yeah.
and typically the person flying is going to come in and say, "Hey, I intend to tie down for a year's time."
Okay,
That's
so we offer two fees, daily or annual.
I will tell you that the current airport and I have had some initial discussions and intend to bring structure to this body for approval because we're woefully undercharging. So we're flowage fees, the tie down fees, all of that.
So that being said, I'll go back to my original comment. If we have confidence by documentation, we provided notice to that individual that they are incurring costs with us for their failure to pay the fee, and they continue to basically not ignore their responsibilities, then city, I think, proper legal counsel and investigation be well within their rights to seek action to recoup placing a lien on the aircraft or even funding, offering for auction, just like they would for storage unit that doesn't get paid. Those avenues, legal would have to research out.
Is there documentation? For,
This
for
particular
telling us,
aircraft?
yeah.
This particular aircraft was brought to the airport at the time. Basically, he, under his own authority, allowed it to be in that way. There's no documentation. Since there's nothing.
Has there been documentation though that the city has
We have never engaged him.
okay.
Sounds like a great time.
I agree. I'm really excited to do this actually.
Yeah.
We'll go to legal first.
We will definitely go to
Let
legal
us-
first.
I would get the legal, but
Okay.
my gut tells me what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I'm super happy to hear you say that.
I know it's cost my pocket a couple of times, but
I just if there's a policy, yeah, we have to.
that way those are.
And that's my, yeah.
Maybe have you first thought. Airport is good. Bring back Monday.
Yes, please.
Okay. Next is
Well, we have our outstanding fiber for
Come on down, Danny.
I'm just gonna pop my head out real quick and have the rest of my staff.
What's that updated worksheet that I gave you this morning?
Okay. I'm sure
Do you
I'll
want me
look
to
at the
answer?
old one.
It's
To confuse everybody.
Got it.
Oh,
You know what
yes.
you're talking about.
I guess.
Danny has got it all. He doesn't even need me here.
Thought you'd be fishing, Gene.
Gina.
Short timer syndrome.
Hey, Gene's got a few good days left in
Yeah,
him.
he's got a few good days.
Gene's diehard to the end. He's a rock star.
Say thank you for leaving your notepad for several
Stupid
times.
email.
No, I ripped pieces of paper out of it though.
I'm just waiting for the John Matthews poem.
The one that I've
How you doing?
good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So, we haven't even started yet.
No, I'm looking at. But there it is.
us.
Yep.
Did you get
Okay.
that updated?
Can you guys explain line 8625, please? Where did you get the number of 7?
Paula might be able to help me with that one.
If you look, that's gonna be our expected carryover.
From LAD 1?
No, from this year. Expected- LED one's closed.
Right.
LED, right. This
So
is the,
carryover from what?
this year for unexpended this year.
After
From-
the closeout.
Yeah, after close.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then want to put it in for LAD 2 construction phase.
If LAD 2 is approved.
If there isn't LAD 2, what would you do with that money?
It would sit within the budget
That would just
Becomes
sit in the budget.
carryover into
Carryover?
until it's allocated differently. So let's say hypothetically, 775,000 is in here and you get to March and you guys deny LID 2 after all of the outreach, right?
Mhm.
Then they could write a memo and buy a fiber hut and you guys approve that, right? Or do other construction projects as reallocated, or it sits in there in that same line. We don't do anything it through FY27. It carries back over and goes right back into fiber and gets allocated this time of year for FY28.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Interest was.
How many employees do you have currently for fiber?
Total of 3.
Oh, 3 for fiber?
Of 3.
Okay. That makes better sense then. Because I took, for the current budget, I took fiber optics with salary minus fiber optics without salary. And that's 235,451. So that is kind of like what you're projecting for 3 employees. Okay. I was on the impression there was like 1 or 2, and so that just.
Oh, yeah.
We've had
Just
3 for
I do know if you do LAD 2, then are you also looking at that number to, how do you pay for the additional employees that you would need if you did do LAD?
the last time we did that, we'd use Personnel Plus, which was a hiring service, and brought those temporary ones on back.
And what budget line would that come out of?
Comes out of the
That
LID
would,
line.
that would be
The
in the LID.
775?
Yeah,
That would be within the LID specifically.
Got it?
It's a charge to the improvement district.
Okay.
do at some point down the anticipate we will city employees
Mhm.
based simply on the fact that every new home that's built has fiber to it. We're seeing a huge uptick in the number of homes that are hatching in all these new subdivisions to the point where one of the other providers has actually dropped out and quit trying to compete.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good for us.
And you'll see probably here next couple probably next counts. No, we gotta do a public hearing for change of fees for
Co-location.
co-locations and stuff.
And Danny and I are working on finalizing that after your comments the other day. So
Thanks.
mostly Danny. He's
But he sent them over. I think I forwarded them to Tiff to get them to the council.
Didn't do that.
Oh, to get it on to the agenda.
Oh, I haven't done that task.
So on, can I ask on revenue, or am I jumping the gun for the other council people?
Well, I had a couple in expenditure, but
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
because it is unusual in government a lot of times to see budgets go down, especially when they deal with things like 3525. Help me understand what SAAS is and why you're estimating the cost to go down.
Yeah, so that's our agreement with Entry Point Iron, and the mayor had kind of renegotiated that so that we weren't getting those overage charges and things like that with Iron, because we were customers online and we were using, quite a bit of data. So
if you recall, a couple of months ago, we had a math that we provided, or this was the renegotiation of that.
Mhm.
You're actually going up from 18 to 30. Councilman Sanders said down. So
I was looking at down, I was looking. let's see.
3,700.
computer maintenance software
Mm-hmm.
is dropping by almost 66%.
Yeah. So that was last year in doing the budget. We'd hope to be able to use that line to purchase our gateways, which are the modems essentially that we install in people's homes. Weren't able to use that line, so that money just kind of got allocated there. And yeah.
So Paula provided an update because we caught it yesterday. I say we caught it yesterday that added that line 5210 that reflects those. Them.
It's so odd seeing the deal with IT go down.
And you're keeping your gas and oil the same.
Yeah, gas and oil's 30.
Yeah, yeah. In case we were to have no idea.
If we do have an LA, sure we're set up for it.
We like to take care of each other.
So, just food for thought while you guys are looking, Ammon, they got to 3,000 subscribers and stopped doing LIDs. We learned that from the mayor of Ammon at the AIC Awards.
Stopped doing it.
Yeah, so they got to a point where they reached that critical mass where the LID was no longer beneficial to the cost because the volume of customers had exceeded the point that LIDs, the cost of doing business in an LID made sense anymore, and they could just keep the ball rolling with O&M cost, which is fantastic.
O&M. They don't
Oh,
charge
I knew the
monthly.
O&M.
They do a lump sum at time.
Oh,
of
you're right.
connection.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
And then they charged back to
The ISPs.
the
Yes.
ISPs. They paid instead
Yeah,
of the consumer paying.
rather than the consumer paying the ISP, now the volume of customer was so big that it was so attractive to the ISPs that the ISPs are actually paying the city to access the customer base. So the whole thing flips to become profitable from both ends.
What's that magic number for our populated city?
I don't know that you can make a one-to-one comparison. It's just
Who determined that they made that threshold?
Was he gonna send you some of that information? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in their ninth LID too. They've done 9 of them and way ahead of it. So
Yeah.
they're, if you're considering they've done 9, their population base plus all their new connects, almost I would imagine 80% of the residents within Ammon, Idaho have connection.
They have a heat map on their Ammon fiber website. You can see see the amount of homes that are connected, and that map is green.
Mhm.
So
Chris, Danny, if you can help me on this, and first budget session, but learning that this will be my request for future, is these Cassell salary sheets. So I was kind of interested between the 2026 and the 2027 for salaries. 26, we had everything coming out of fiber for salaries, but in this 2027, see that we're splitting between water, fiber, and wastewater.
The reason that we are looking at doing that is because Danny and the fiber team do not solely work fiber. They maintain all of the fiber infrastructures, the wastewater department, the water department, fiber structures for City Hall, for the library, parks. So they touch the entire city, not just the fiber that's going to the homes.
Right. Why in 2026 did we have everything fiber salary, but this year we're splitting it up? Just kind of trying to see with this increase in salaries, and 'cause on paper it looks like we're going down on fiber salaries, but it
Right,
seems
but
like
in the
we're
big
just
picture,
sharing the
we're going
cost.
We were directed last year to have the salaries solely come from asking to reverse that direction.
So you have it for
It's one, right?
Yeah, just
Just the supervisor.
yeah, just one
just the
position.
supervisor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of employees broke that way. IT is the same way. We don't just facilitate for one department. We try to spread it equally.
And I understand that too, you know, the point. I think there's some other conversation, but
Quarter.
That's what we set up. I had that list. I didn't print it and bring it with me, but it was split 3 ways, correct? Or
water, wastewater,
Admin.
is it admin?
He has those.
Right.
They all have it.
I didn't know what all to print.
You're
Just
good.
like burning paper.
And admin.
And the shuffle for that is, we believe it's beneficial if a fiber line gets cut going to the law enforcement building, the person we're calling is Danny to go do that. So, you know what I mean? That's our infrastructure base. It's to keep operations on the city side going. The administrative side should pay a little bit of his wage to compensate that offset. So that's kind of how we've looked at it.
That has occurred.
Yeah, we cut a line to SCADA. Well, we didn't, a plumber did, and it took him down all night long. And he was the guy on site repairing it through the evening. But fiber paid his wage solely.
Do individual employees have the ability to code their time cards based on the hours they worked on a particular project?
We have comments on our time cards that they can address, but we don't have specific codes within our payroll system that are project driven. We don't.
Okay.
So we keep separate spreadsheets to project driven items.
Since the proportional percentage.
Yeah, the percentages come down because of our payroll software. We break them into the quarters of how the checks are allocated and come back in on the budgeting side of things, our accounting side in Paulo's world. So. Sorry,
Oh, you're great.
I just jump in.
There are
Like
there are
what
things
she
I'm sitting here
said.
learning. It's great. I don't understand how all the behind the scenes HR type
You don't need to.
cool to learn.
Careful, if you learn too much, you wind up here.
Yeah. You'll be like, what did the L2 do?
I do not want to carry that burden.
Anything else in fiber?
Can I go to revenue now? I'm curious. So you said the carryover is at 775, right?
Carry-
So then it says carryover 725.
It's changed since these sheets were generated because you've had a lot of new homes that came in. And we wanted to capture what the closeout of the bond was, to make sure you got all of that to go back into LID too. And I think the closeout of the bond, this is really just shooting from the hip, and I don't generally do that. I think it was 762. The final that went into the fiber, does that right? 762?
762.
Right in there, okay, and then this was just a little bit of, hey, we're selling homes, so it's a little bit more.
Oh, go ahead.
So on the projection for the fees, I understand there's new, but we're saying 600,000, 250 homes. When I go to the current revenue, we're budgeting $298, we'll say 300. We've only seen an 80% actual out of that so far with what we have left in there.
I'm gonna giggle because, as they talked about earlier, there's several contractors that are building, and who they had in contract to install the fiber optic to the home is now the City of Mountain Home.
All backing out.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're doing that was actually, I'm going to keep telling you how awesome this guy is we were able to work with Corey Barton Homes, Hubble Homes, Hummel Homes. We're actually getting into the homes during the construction phase and doing all of our pre-wiring so that when the resident buys their house, the day they walk in, there's a nice little card that says, call Danny. Go in and hook them up. So a lot of the other the other utilities they're just backing out.
And the 250 is uniform
That's
across
pretty
the
accurate.
budgets,
Mhm.
and it's 250 at the 2400.
Yeah, for the
So if
building
you sell
permit.
250 building permits, which I think you're in line to do that, that's to sell the permits. That's not a customer connecting to fiber and starting the fiber. Like, oh, I don't want to go with you. I'm going to go with Starlink. This is solely a permit fee, just like a hookup to water, wastewater.
Mhm.
We sold 93 so far this year since October. So, and then with Blue Yonder West, that's a 380 home development right there. So that's not counting in the other developments going on. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's Blue Yonder. The Blue Yonder 3, Blue Yonder 4, and Blue Yonder West have not begun pulling their yet.
Which, I mean, we don't expect a full build out.
No,
one
we do
year.
not. No,
Right.
but you can see how fast they're building. It's-
Fall Creek
it's pretty crazy.
has started. Right.
They're doing all their infrastructure. Yeah, their infrastructure's in.
And I think on the revenue, if you recognize the 700 right below that 250, that's 700 customers at the 1750 per month. And where are you at right now? Customers.
Just under 600.
Yeah.
So, and then counting the homes that are just about built and all the developments, with us being able to pre-install in all those homes, I mean, I feel pretty conservative in saying that we should get 90% of those.
I think the 700 is
Mm-hmm.
is low.
Cold?
Slippery. Sorry.
No, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
It's good.
You got no AC out at your place.
No, RAC this morning.
Oh, no.
About 80 degrees out there right now. But we're working on it, and you'll be seeing that soon.
All right, guys, any more on revenue?
Chris, Danny, sorry, one
Yeah.
question on this. So, for different departments, they're looking at fees. It's the 1750 for the fiber utility. Is that even?
It's absolutely reasonable. Yeah. Yeah. Need a reason to change that at this point in time. But
We need to probably up it.
you think so?
Talking
The Ammon mayor.
talking to the mayor of Ammon at the AIC thing,
Privy to those conversations, so
they were looking at that rate increase slope over years, and I think he was going to send you some information on how that.
okay.
And I'm waiting on him.
Well, and again, if we can get that, when we sit and look at the other documents that we're hoping to bring to you, we can throw that all in there. We can do all of it once. We're happy to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that 1750. I'm like, how long are we gonna keep that?
It's one of the draws, though, I will tell you. It's
Right.
definitely a draw.
Right.
So, but yeah, we could definitely look at that. Once I get that from you, Mayor, I'll sit down with Danny and let him do his magic.
Last year 84, 73.
Stephanie, is Clearwater gonna be here in at quarter till?
Yeah, they're actually
Is that
probably a
Linda's
4 o'clock presentation.
Belinda, are they?
Oh.
Okay. Good time.
I can grab them, but we can keep going. I'll just grab Jay's.
And if we're in a spot where one of our vendor partners is here,
I feel like this is a good breaking point.
might be a good opportunity. I apologize to
Don't
have to push
apologize.
the rest of Public Works off, but to split these up to accommodate their schedule. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Any more with fiber? Are we good with fiber?
I have nothing further.
I have nothing.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Chris.
I appreciate you, buddy.
Swore?
Might need to water.
Well, they.
So like
had
3:45.
Well, good. Somebody's got to.
five, but they're here now.
Oh, good.
So,
If you want to stretch your legs a little bit.
I have a favor to ask you. These are done. Are we doing it now or we're not?
Yeah, I just told Sheridan we'd like.
Oh, so we're gonna keep going?
Bust one more out. What was the easiest, council?
They're all easy from this point. I feel like we're like 10 minutes from being done with all the public works.
Do you want to wait until Jenny
Challenge
gets
yourself.
back?
Stacy's up. Let's do wastewater. Let's
Yep,
do Dave.
come on.
Dave wants to go first.
Dave
Let's
wants to
go, Dave.
first? Get up here, Dave. Oh, I need you to go deal with.
Someone needs to make decisions. I'll do it. Dave, you're up.
Air conditioning guy.
So, nothing, because he's gonna do it now. Sorry, thank you.
Oh, wait, she gets.
We're gonna get Dave out of here, and we'll.
I warned Jason Sheridan they're gonna drink using the restroom and stuff. I told him we wanted to get through a little bit more. They're not slated to actually present until 4 anyways.
Oh, okay.
So you have a half an hour.
Streets.
We might be able to get at least 2 out then.
Okay.
Oh shoot! Forgot to ruin my revenues for water and sewer. They're laying on my desk. Dang it.
What is it you need?
You want
I
the
just if
revenues
they
for
ask,
water and
yeah,
sewer?
if they ask for the revenues, I forgot.
Here,
to bring them.
Chris.
I printed them, and
Here, we got you.
all right, cool.
Wastewater.
I'm on my computer.
All right.
Oh, did we move on? Are we moving on?
Yeah, they're not until 4. They're
Oh.
here, but they don't present until 4.
Gotcha.
Just in case we need this.
So what turn are we on?
Water.
Water should be super easy.
Do you want us to start again, or do you guys have a presentation? Start questions.
We don't have a.
No, it's
Okay.
we're gonna leave you guys.
We lead it off. Got
Yeah,
it.
the
Okay.
utilities are great, but they don't got a whole lot to sell you.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna.
Sorry,
I will.
where
tell
they're
you.
needed.
I will tell you as you look through here, we really focused on financial responsibility, and we cut a lot of large items that we didn't feel were appropriate at this point in time because we do have a very solid water and wastewater fleet. And we had talked about presenting some dump trucks and stuff like that, but those are things that we don't feel like are necessary now, so we were able to cut. So you won't see a lot of huge capital expenses as far as vehicles and stuff on these budgets. So just so you're aware, we were trying to save money for bigger things down the road.
So speaking of that, gas and oil, you're keeping it the same, even though that's been a big topic of how the uncertainty of gas prices continue to go up. Are you content with that 25,600?
When we did these, we were probably not a bad idea as we bring it up, but yeah,
Right.
based on we probably should bump that a little bit. Most of these were built before current world circumstances. Is that the right way to say that?
What are you thinking?
Well,
I know I'm just throwing.
so in the current year we've spent 22. Last year we spent 25, so it'd probably be reasonable to say 30.
I think that's a pretty reasonable estimation.
We're gonna make Dave get a bicycle. And that might help. Scooter? Oh,
Electric
geez.
scooter.
Oh, don't say electric. There was
Yeah,
a really
This is
there's a dark point in Public Works history
Oh.
where 2 electric cars were bought to do
Oh.
the meter readings. One of them we got it off the truck and it died. The other one we never got off the truck and it died.
Oh my goodness.
They were not awesome.
You
So-
just have to charge him, you know. No, I just kidding.
That was a bigger problem than that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we charged one overnight,
Yeah.
Mhm.
building and got their potato. And so we turned around and got back to the gate man and got pushed.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I say electric is not always the best.
Okay, gotcha. I don't have a problem going with 30,000. It's reality. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, agreed.
So, as we did it for other departments, why not you guys?
Sure.
Oh, because you're on the road. But I'm sorry. Did you guys have a comment on that?
I'm good with that figure.
So on 4310, it talks about Civic Plus annual fee again. Is that
So Civic Plus, I know most of the city has stepped away from that. We purchased the asset management piece of that,
Mhm.
and it works phenomenally. We are very happy with it.
Okay.
We're actually with the old GIS system, which we still use as the main data input source. We weren't able to have our guys in the field be able to interact with the maps and the assets and come back to the shop. Civic Plus, the big selling point for me that we like so much is that you can be in the field, you can be on your cell phone, you can have a tablet, and you can pull up, say, a fire hydrant. You can click on the hydrant. It will tell you the age of the hydrant. It will tell you the last time the hydrant was inspected, and then you can drill down and see what size the water lines are to feed the hydrant, where the meter. You can do all that in the field. That's a huge benefit to us. It saves a lot of time. The other piece of the puzzle on Civic Plus for us that we're really happy with is that prior to Civic Plus, if we were to schedule a job, we scheduled it on paper, and we had a ticket, and when we got done, we put the paper in a file or we scanned it. Civic Plus does all that for us, so we can actually schedule all of our jobs. We can, for example, we do quarterly, annual, biannual, 5-year cleanings on our sewer systems. We can schedule all that in Civic Plus, and then it will give us a notice that says, hey, next week you have to do X, and it will say this person is the one scheduled to do it. They can go out again on their phone. When they get their job done, they can enter the pertinent data, inspection passed, had to order these parts, and it's all right in your hand. So
Yeah, we're keeping it for the agenda for on our side of things, and I can see how some people like it and some people don't. So that sounds like it's working great for you.
We love it.
Remember my email about water rate study. I don't just want to raise rates to raise rates,
Oh, I
right?
understand,
Because that's
absolutely.
been the pattern of us going up just 4.9 whatever. What's your thoughts of going out for a water rate study so we actually have the data to back that up?
It has been, as we discussed the other night, it has been a long time since we've done one. I absolutely think that's something that we should look at. I did a little research. I had not, so everybody knows, I have not contacted any engineer firm, but I did some research online. An average water rate study for a town of our size is going to run somewhere between $40,000 and $60,000, depending on the depth of the study. So I think that's something that could reasonably fit into this budget, and I think it would be worth its weight.
Where would you put it?
So under professional fees.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, right. So professional services, is that it? Is that the one?
41.
41. So right now you're at 300,000. Would you have to ask for more, or could you?
We
Fit that in
would, because
there.
if you look at the history, the last year we spent 240. So I would ask that we would, if
What-
60,000.
What does the other council feel on that?
I'm definitely for a water rate study.
Sorry, just looking at some.
And of course, we would go out for, we would do it into the, and I know that's a big,
Yeah.
and I support the idea 100%. So we would definitely put this out there to the world.
Professional fees, though, you have to.
I understand, yeah. I just want to make sure crystal clear, we're not going
Right.
to call one person.
Chris, can you help me understand? Just pulling up. So, I think the water rate study, great. You and I have chatted in the past when I've asked about when the last time we done study when I was on the DIFAC, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you saying been
Too long.
Yeah. So it'd be great to have that information so we can see where we're going. That's my biggest thing with that. Every year, 9% fee. What are we heading towards, and how do we justify that? So with the professional fees, though, you said that we would have to add that 40 to 60,000 to that 100 line. Help me walk through on the professional fees. But you're budgeting 300 separate of that 40-60. But the plan is to spend that 300,000 on next year.
So the professional fees that we use cover all of the development reviews for all of the new construction, all the new building subdivisions, all that kind of stuff. They cover all the annexation reviews. They cover the preliminary plat reviews, development plan reviews, final plat reviews. All of that is covered by the professional services.
Even
So
though
that
we collect
Hmm?
fee, we have a fee.
we do collect those through the building department.
So does that offset the cost, or how does that all? If we're collecting a fee, but then we're paying for it, you see where my, I'm trying to connect the dots here.
Well,
If there was a way to expend it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm looking because we do bring it in, but if we don't reflect it here, we can't pay it out.
Currently, we're at. That's revenue, sorry.
We did drop that line by 200,000 from last
Right.
year.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be as fiscally
I
responsible
appreciate
as I
that.
can.
I just want to see the expenditure to see if you're shorting. Talked about today. Professional fees, we've spent 156,000 so far. You were budgeted 5 for the year. Excuse me, that's wastewater. I apologize.
Those aren't the numbers that I have in mind.
There's silence, crickets, you're like.
I know, I'm like, there it is, sorry. So we're at 252 budgeted. Okay, so you're about 50% then. That decreased to 300, adding that 40 to 60 that you'd be.
That we were trying to be as fiscally responsible as we could.
Okay.
Practical standpoint, staff, if we were, because this is also part of what we discussed at council earlier about getting facilities we were.
Yeah,
Could
it's
very
just-
well. Clearwater is going to talk about some rates with you here in a little bit on a rate training, so I would imagine a water rate study is probably in their wheelhouse. So in a 20-ish minutes, you might know more.
Talking before about this, as
Yep, I mentioned
So-
that to Sheridan.
the practical question is, if we can get a comprehensive approach, 60 would be split out of that to help pay. And the other areas that are being paid would end up paying a proportionate share. Are we going to be
I think these are
separate?
pretty distinctly separate studies in
Yeah,
that sense.
That's all I need to do here.
Yeah.
Then we only got so many apples we can put in the bushel barrel, just making sure. that
Yes.
we're-
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So council have added that to the change log as well to increase 4,100 by 60,000. Is that
Not that.
agreeable for a water rate study?
Okay, a lot of DEQ loan payoffs in here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because when we get audited, we have to be below a certain threshold between debt and income ratio? Is that why we're,
We just want to be debt free.
Okay.
That's the.
and,
We know that in the future, we're going to, at some point in time, have to build a new well, things like that, that we
Mhm.
talked about previously. We feel like if we pay off the current debt we have, we can save the interest, which to be very candid with you, it's not that loans, but we feel like if we can get to that point, paid off, that we have a lot more strength at DEQ loans, because that's really what it was to.
go for more just DEQ loans, or is it for like bonds and other things as well?
So we have,
No, I mean, to go for other things, is to pay off the debt.
oh,
I'll jump in.
Yeah, please.
Well, one, the debt or the debt is always nice to have off the books, but two, we have enough funds to build another tank and another well currently paying cash, so we don't have to do any more with
For those
water.
functions.
Yeah, and the tank. That'll be coming down the road to you guys as an ask. Then currently, right now, DEQ, I think, is funding less than 10% of their asks.
Yeah.
So if we can just do it in-house, pay everything off, have enough money, and to just do the projects in-house, always nice to not have a debt on the books as well.
So is it paying off every DEQ loan that we have outstanding? And then we have enough money, when you're referring to that, is it coming out of capital reserve, or is it, okay? So it's coming out of capital reserve for cell 10, and then, and you said the well?
Cell 10
Oh,
is-
we're talking water.
yeah,
Storage.
cell
This is
10
just
wastewater.
water. So a
Oh.
storage tank
Yeah. We're
and
talking
a potential
we're talking
well
another
18.
storage tank.
Well,
Currently-
18. Okay.
Currently, we have the 4 tanks. We have the 2 that are across the highway, and they have the 2. We want to add a 5th tank to where the pilot is
Oh, okay.
to give us that much more reserves. It will help us. It will help us make sure that our citizens
Water.
in years like
And
this
the
year-
hydrant pressure is correct and
Yep.
yes.
And the neat thing too about that extra tank, our water rates, we have so many not water rates, it's water rights
Right.
that linear though, if you go, like, we want it to have linear, there's spikes. We don't want the spike. We'd rather just have it steady all year. And so we don't ever go above the threshold of our water right. Because in the winter years, we only use one well. But in obviously summer, but then this will be less wear and tear on the pumps, hopefully, less wear and tear on the. Dave, you say you're the guru over here. I'm not trying to speak for you. And grab your
No,
mic.
you're okay, you're fine. Yeah, if we had another tank, it would take down, would help cut some of the utility costs because the water wouldn't run it. Save on a lot of the pump motors.
Okay.
In the winter time, we have one run all the time, backup one. The summertime, everything's running quite a while. Tank. $16. It really cut back. We get another one.
Tiffany, I just gotta notice the meeting.
So did I. I had to rejoin.
I tried to rejoin. It said the events ended. If recording was enabled, it's now stopped.
I'm still rolling.
If you go back to the main Teams view
Try to
Like-
re-enter the event.
for your app, the most recent bolded one, and click on it and then rejoin.
It has me on hold.
If at the top of that window, it'll say rejoin in like white text.
While he's
Sure.
figuring that out, so do you think we need a well 18 now, like to go and start doing that now?
Well, if you go back to the briefing that we had,
Mhm, okay, yeah.
we know that we need to start the process for a well, which is locating first. So we need to figure out where we're going to put it, and then need to start working through the process to where we do. Well, I believe within the next 5 years, at the far outside, we will need 18.
Would this be a
That was a challenge.
Right now, though, I think the most important thing is the tank.
Who knows?
Yeah,
would
the
help
tank
out.
is a big priority, and the tank would actually give us. Sorry, Dave, I don't mean to
you're
steal
good.
your thunder, but the tank would give us that much more time.
But you have both of them plugged in here. So you have the storage tank, and you have. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to. Scott, if you know where it's at on here too, to help me.
For which one?
Well, they said they wanted the storage tank number 5 and well 18, but
Yeah, let me get to expenditures real quick here.
I don't see it labeled as that in here.
Did we not put it in? I don't see it on here either.
I don't see it.
I need to add that.
Oops.
So would that be, should that be underneath 9210, you said? Or no? 9900?
Tank project.
Yeah, tank project at the bottom.
Don't have anything in it.
So I think what they do is they'd come back and ask to take it out of your,
But
let me find it here. I think it's
Capital reserve.
Out of the capital reserve.
90, yeah.
9200?
And we already have the plans for that.
we do.
We're gonna recycle
We do.
the 2 million or the
Yeah,
600,000.
we're just gonna create a mirror of the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess, because enterprise funds, right? You can take enterprise funds from water and wastewater and put it towards, okay, because remember how Becky last year, she found so much money, put it in reserve in water and wastewater to go towards Lagoon Cell 10.
You can only
But that was-
use wastewater enterprise funds for wastewater.
Okay, so okay, last year we took money away though in both departments in capital reserve. Tell me what we did, why we took so much money away in capital reserve then for water.
It was the Public Works building.
Okay,
But we, yeah.
okay,
But again, at the end of the day, when we did that, we still, that money can still only be used in the department
Okay.
which it was earned.
yeah, no, I know, we're trying to, it was a year ago conversation, I'm trying to piece together, right? Okay, so now, since we're not going the building route, you're asking to use the cap,
To do that.
I know
yes.
you do. So we're using the capital reserve money for
That's what we
storage
anticipate.
tank number 5 and well 18 to get it.
To begin the
To begin the
process,
process.
which begins with the study for a location.
Do you guys want to put that out in writing, like how that would look, like fiscally, like how much money? Because again, it's not in our budget book. So.
Sure.
Give it to us on Monday.
Sure.
Okay.
Mayor and council, please don't forget you have availability funds for those large
Mhm.
construction projects, which is like your very last page.
Yeah, that's the last page if you go to the.
Like
which is what we were
2.5.
saying.
Okay. Thank you.
Chris, where are we at with the open position for the water operator? How long has that been vacant?
For a water operator? I don't think we had, did we have an open position for water operator? If
Says
we
on
do, I don't know that.
FY 27 is current staff, open position, water operator.
It's their description, water tech, water operator.
Yeah, there's a water operator at a grade 7.
I'm
That
gonna
is,
be that guy that's gonna tell you.
that's bolded in at least the sheet that we have for the current staff salary.
Yeah, it might have.
I thought we filled that with, yeah, exactly.
We filled that with.
Okay, so it might have been changed since this was generated.
I have to look.
Yeah. Cody Snow.
Cody's already on there.
Okay.
So you're gonna, good.
I didn't know that.
Either one of us
Super
knew
happy.
there was available.
Great. Now he's gonna come ask to
I'm,
fill it.
I'm
Let's
like, do you
say,
mind
but-
if I go out and fill that position tomorrow? That's exactly my.
Thanks,
It might be
Councilman.
a question of that position, if it's been vacant, how long? And do we want to take that money and put it to the
I would
water rate study?
accordingly.
See, I thought Cody was Corey. We didn't know that.
So if we can, I'd appreciate some info of how long it's been open in the plan, because again, if it's one of those, it's been a while, maybe we can use that to go.
I don't shoot from the hip.
No, I don't either. We'll get it. Yeah, I'll definitely get it for you because I'm like, holy cow.
I understand, again, the breakdown in that, Tiffany brought that up with clerk, I guess, help me wrap my head around this. This isn't towards you, please, anyone. Why do we have our economic development director split out for salary in water and wastewater?
Isn't he moving in the next one? Is he still split out?
I have the sheets.
It's so split,
My
water and
understanding is we
wastewater.
were not doing that. anymore.
Yeah, I thought,
That's-
my understanding is coming into FY 27, he would solely be out of admin,
That's what I am.
What sheet are you
which is why
referencing?
So,
the 50,000 travel expenditures solely went to admin, because right now he's being shared
Yep.
amongst everybody, so we'd have to correct that salary.
I'd like to see, just because I think the numbers from the sheet they match what's here. So that's why I'm like, it's showing that he's split in there. So it's matching up those numbers. And key to bed horse, that was one of my biggest things with the water and wastewater, seeing travel and stuff for our economic director. So I would like that
Yeah.
completely in admin. I don't, that's just me.
No, we
Councilman
didn't make
McCarthy,
that change.
can I come look over your shoulder and
Yeah, please.
see? Because the version that I have does not have that.
Economic development, 3 months, that's just water.
Is that FY 26? Because you,
FY 27.
It's FY 27 and it's probably
338. And for wastewater, It is 390. This is a pretty current one that I've.
I don't have that
What did we
either.
do when we had?
Are you,
But-
are you in staff shares, the one that says Cassell current staff? My cell 388 is Sue Monasterio.
338.
390, I see him. Ah, okay. Found him.
Oops.
Okay, we can get it shuffled. We'll get it. We'll get it changed, and this sheet will be updated in your folders.
Because there's a section that's above that before a break in cells that is water department 25434 where he's not listed. Lines 313 through 322.
He's listed 6 months in admin on the FY27,
Yeah,
and then he's broken out 3 and 3.
Okay.
And that's,
yeah.
I can understand the argument for
Mhm.
fiber and all that, but to me, that's one of,
Mhm.
yeah, I'd like to see that corrected.
What did we do, just for my memory,